here about 3 years ago from North Carolina.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's good to have you here. Let's start off, if you could just maybe briefly introduce yourself a little more than I just did. We'll start with you, Ms. Dove.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Irene Dove, and I live here in Chicago. And you want me to start about the buddy program? Okay. I joined the buddy program about 6 years ago. And it has just been a wonderful experience for me. Even to this day, even though I'm not in the program any longer, whenever I get upset or agitated or something, I think about my buddy, Warren here, and a lot of times I can't remember what he looks like. And I was afraid today that I wouldn't know him. But the feeling that I had from spending time with him is always inside of me. And I think about the things that we did in the buddy programs. I think about the meetings, the places we went. And Warren is still a calming, he calms me down when I get upset. Even though I haven't seen him in quite a few years, you know, I'll sit and I'll think of him and how patient he was with me at all the times, and the questions that he asked me, and some of the things that he said. Even if I don't remember what happened this morning, I still remember Warren and the time that we spent together. So I really feel whatever I might forget in the future, I really believe that Warren and the buddy program will always stay inside of me. That's it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Afternoon, everyone. My name is Warren. I'm an MD PhD student here, so I'm studying to be both a physician and a scientist. The research I'm doing right now is broadly in neuroscience. I'm taking what happens in the clinic and looking all the way down at the level of molecules. I'm trying to understand a particular protein that is known to be associated with Lou Gehrig's disease and frontotemporal dementia. And so I'm really excited about the work that I do, and I could talk your ears off about it, but if you're interested, you could certainly.
Okay.
But yeah, so I was part of the buddy program when I was a first-year medical student, which now is 5 years ago. The thing about the program for me as a student was having the opportunity, because I was interested in Alzheimer's research. I had done some of that work in college, but had never really met anybody with the disease. And having the opportunity to get to know Irene and her story and the struggles that she had on a daily basis, and seeing it firsthand really struck home to me the importance of what I'm trying to do in the lab and what clinicians are doing every day to help patients like Irene. And I mean, sometimes it's even the littlest things. I still remember we went to the Field Museum to go visit one of the exhibits, and Irene had to go use the restroom, and I was like, okay, well, I'll wait for you. And with my back turned, when she came out, and she didn't recognize where I was, and so she got really anxious and upset about not being able to find me. And at that point, I was also concerned because she hadn't come out and I didn't know where she was, and so trying to find her, and we eventually found each other, but it was just, I mean, that little small thing really struck home to me how much the disease can affect people's everyday lives. So that was one of the many lessons that Irene shared with me.
Thank you.
I have to they have to cue me in all the time. That's one of the things that's so frustrating about this disease. But, I'm Katrina Moncrief. I didn't tell you that part. This is my buddy Annika, and I think I've had a wonderful buddy. I was kind of skeptical about the thing altogether when it was presented to me, and I didn't think it would be something that I would enjoy, but I guess cooler heads prevailed, and here I am with my great buddy, Annika, and I think we've had a fine time. And I understand why you're talking about having to be talked off a ledge sometimes. Mm-hmm. You just get so flustered. Mm-hmm. But that's not why we're here either. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I just wanted to mention that, yeah, that's everybody. It's all of us. We have those times, we have those days, we have those seconds when it's like, oh, and then something clicks and you're back.
And you're fine, right? And
you're fine. Mm-hmm. But I have enjoyed this young lady immensely. Mm-hmm. I think we've had a grand time. And I hope that in later years you'll remember me, because I know I'll remember you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Annika Nilsson. I am currently a first-year medical student, one test away from being a second-year medical student, so I'm working on that. But yeah, so I did my, I'm originally from Columbus, Ohio. I did my undergrad at Vanderbilt University. I graduated, sorry. I will slow down. I did my undergrad at Vanderbilt University. I graduated in May with a degree in neuroscience. For that reason, I'd always been fascinated in our brains and the way things work and how they come together to create our behaviors. So at the beginning of this year, we got an email introducing us to the Buddy program, saying they were going to have an intro meeting and we could come and hear a little bit more about what it was like. So I read a little bit about it and I was like, oh, I'll go hear more about it. And the work that Darby did and the intentionality of the Buddy program was something I was really drawn to. And just the ability to create a relationship with someone that I would have never met before and hear their story. And that was something I was drawn to. So I went into the meeting where Kat and I met, and I think we were both a little nervous.
Yeah.
But about an hour later, we were just yapping away, and we had the best time. And throughout the course of this year, I've had a really amazing experience getting to know Kat, hearing her story about just her overall life, and then secondly, her experience with the disease and seeing her frustrations has really given me a new profound sense of empathy for people who struggle with Alzheimer's or any sort of dementia. Things we've done together, we both have dogs, so we walk our dogs together a lot. Kat has cooked for me. She's invited me over for Thanksgiving dinner. We did this sips and stroke painting thing together, which was really fun. And for me, being new to Chicago, getting to know Kat and having her as almost like a family support system has meant more than I think that I've given her at all. She has meant so much to me, and I couldn't imagine this past year or the next 4 years here in Chicago without her.
You don't have to. We'll be together.
Baldwin. I'm a fourth-year medical student, graduating in a couple weeks. And I'll be continuing on here for my training in neurology. So I think the Buddy program definitely had an influence on my decision to do neurology. It definitely, like everyone's shared before, gave me an insight into what people go through in their daily lives. My buddy was Natalie Ross, and she was such an amazing person. I thought the pairing was perfect. We come from very different backgrounds and experiences and time periods and everything, but we had so much in common, and you could definitely, we clicked, the first time we sat down for coffee. Just learning so much about her life and the activism and things that she's done. I was so inspired by her, and the fact that even with her disease, she didn't let any of that like slow her down. She was so involved in everything. I ran into her actually more in the hospital than like us, hanging out outside of it, because she was here like involved in different support groups, leading different things. She was just always like out and just vibrant and full of life. And I really admired that about her, that she wasn't letting it like decrease how much she enjoyed getting out of life. She definitely did have her struggles, and that limited some of the activities we could do together. She had some visual difficulties, so a lot of the time we spent together was more like sitting and talking and chatting. But it was great. She just had so many stories, and we shared so much. So, it's something I'll remember for the rest of my life.
Thank you.